BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
A record-shattering session of Senate question time has unfolded in the Australian Parliament, plunging into a chaotic marathon stretching over 3 hours. This unprecedented duration marks a new benchmark, eclipsing a 125-year-old record and highlighting a fierce battle over governmental transparency. The government lost control of the chamber amidst a dramatic clash, with threats of retribution emerging against coalition members involved in parliamentary committees. The catalyst for this extended drama was a bold push led by Senator David Pocock, who galvanized support from the Greens and the crossbench to significantly lengthen question time. The objective was to compel ministers to provide more substantive answers, effectively challenging long-held parliamentary conventions and rules within the upper house. This extraordinary move was met with strong opposition, with Labour Minister Murray Watt describing it as a dummy spit, a move seen as petulant and disruptive. Government senators, incensed by the disruption to established norms, responded with notably brief answers to the additional 5 questions mandated by Senator Pocock's motion, fueling extended shouting matches between Labour, Coalition, and Greens representatives. Nationals Senator Bridget McKenzie directly accused Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, currently overseas in South Korea, of engaging in bullying this chamber. Trade Minister Don Farrell, presiding over the Senate, dismissed the unfolding parliamentary spectacle as mere cheap tricks. He sternly admonished coalition members, stating, "Maybe one of these days, you'll be back into government and you'll understand how important it is for the opposition to act in a responsible way." In a surprising turn of events late Thursday afternoon, long after the mandated extra questions had been addressed, Labour opted to keep question time running, refusing to bring the session to a formal close. This procedural maneuver was intended as a strategic point-making exercise on their part. Question time typically concludes between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Senator Pocock's motion, by adding an extra 5 questions, usually extended the session by approximately 20 minutes. However, parliamentary rules stipulate that a minister must formally move to end question time. Instead, Labour maintained the session until 5:30 p.m., obliging senators to remain in the chamber well past their usual departure time at the end of the parliamentary week. The prolonged nature of the session led to some unusual scenes. Independent Senator Tammy Tyrrell was observed waving and making shaka hand gestures towards schoolchildren in the public gallery, while Liberal backbencher Jane Hume ingeniously fashioned a necklace from Minty's lolly wrappers. A government source indicated to Guardian Australia that the 210-minute session was believed to be the longest question time since Australia's federation in 1901, surpassing the previous record of around 150 minutes. Finance Minister Katie Gallagher, offering a moment of levity after the session finally concluded, quipped about senators eager to depart for their flights, noting, "Everyone's racing out to get their little trolley bags and head off to the chairman's lounge. They couldn't believe they'd been delayed. Frustrated they had to sit in here." The root of this intense confrontation lies in a revolt against perceived government secrecy, specifically targeting Labour's decision to withhold a crucial report on government board appointments. This investigation, conducted by former Public Service Commissioner Linnell Briggs, was delivered to Senator Gallagher 2 years ago. However, the government has consistently resisted its release, citing cabinet confidentiality and other privacy concerns. Senator Pocock, expressing his deep frustration with this protracted delay, put forward a motion on Wednesday to alter the Senate's standing orders. The motion sought to introduce additional questions into the daily question time until the report was made public, thereby affording non-government senators greater opportunities to scrutinize the government. Non-government members in both the Senate and the House of Representatives have been progressively increasing pressure on the Labour government regarding issues of transparency and secrecy. In July, the Centre for Public Integrity released a report suggesting that the Albanese government had a less favourable record than the coalition under Scott Morrison concerning the proactive release of documents for public examination, accusing Labour of eroding the principles of freedom of information. Senator Gallagher defended the government's stance, stating that the Briggs report would be released when that work is finished. However, she strongly opposed Senator Pocock's actions, arguing that senators were abusing Senate orders to demand unreasonable quantities of government documents. She highlighted that while the Keating government faced 53 Senate orders to produce documents, the current government had received a staggering 100 such orders in recent weeks alone, and a total of 336 during its previous term. Senator Gallagher emphasized the sheer scale of some of these requests, noting that some of them had a scope that extended to thousands and thousands of pages, and some of them were required to be complied with within timeframes that are simply unreasonable. Senator Pocock, in his address to the Senate, articulated the prevailing sentiment: what we get back are no documents at all or just blacked out pages. I hope we can force the government to actually start complying with the Senate. Overcoming government objections, the coalition, Greens, and the crossbench ultimately backed Senator Pocock's motion. The government's response was one of intense displeasure. Senior government sources suggested that Senator Pocock's move, supported by the coalition, represented a departure from decades of parliamentary convention and tradition. Guardian Australia understands that the government is considering retaliatory measures against the coalition for its support of Pocock's motion, potentially including the removal of coalition members from deputy chair positions on parliamentary committees. Senator Watt was particularly critical of Senator Pocock's actions, remarking, "David Pocock is always in here lecturing the rest of us about the importance of Senate tradition and Senate convention, and he's just gone and chucked the toys out." The Prime Minister's office, along with those of Senate Leader Katie Gallagher and House Leader Tony Burke, declined to comment on the unfolding situation. Liberal senators believed that the threat of procedural retaliation remained a live possibility on Thursday, though no official response had been announced. Liberal Senator James Patterson condemned the government's actions, describing them as authoritarian and completely petty behavior. Senator Pocock, however, maintained that the Senate was fulfilling its fundamental role as enshrined in the Constitution. He stated, "Jobs for mates is a real problem in this place. And we've even seen that over the last couple of years. The government is refusing to release a report that they said would be made public. And they have no grounds to withhold it. And we've been trying to get it out of them for a long time now. And we're ratcheting up the pressure until they release it." The ramifications of this unprecedented extension continue to ripple through the political landscape, underscoring the deep divisions and ongoing tensions surrounding transparency and accountability in Australian federal politics. The battle lines have been sharply drawn, setting the stage for further confrontations as non-government parties intensify their efforts to extract information and uphold principles of open governance. The unusual tactics employed and the strong reactions witnessed serve as a stark reminder of the dynamic and often contentious nature of parliamentary proceedings. The unprecedented length of the session, marked by a breakdown in customary procedures, has undeniably amplified the public's attention on these critical transparency issues, forcing a reckoning with established